Got a great show for you today as we got a little NBA conference finals tonight. Lakers back in action, of course. We got the New York Yankees. Oh, what a tough loss by the Pinstripers. And the New York Mets get the best win of the year last night. A 2-run bomb in the 7th, a 3-run bomb in the 9th, and then Petey Boy in the 10th, a 3-run bomb to win it. Never before in the history of Major League Baseball has that happened. And the New York Mets win a very, very big game last night. And you don't even get to enjoy it because they turn it right around and have an afternoon game today. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
I'm still enjoying it. Now, there's a lot of pressure to
that
win
was
today.
Awesome, right?
But that was, pound for pound, one of the great wins you could ever have because
Yes.
they were desperate, they needed it, and it was shocking. I was in the building last night, Craig, with about 9,000 of my closest drunken friends, and never did we think down 2-0 that they would come back and tie it, and Mark Vientos did. Never did we think down 5-2 in the 9th after the genius manager decides to go to Steven Nagosic, because of course he's got to come into this game in a close game. Never did we think down to the final out that Francisco Alvarez, of all people, would hit a 3-run bomb. And never did we think, even though I sort of thought it, that in the bottom of the 10th, after Francisco Lindor struck out, that the great Pete Alonso, our favorite man, would deliver a money 3-run home run. That was, Craig, a stupendous night.
It's I always talk about the games that are in the mix, right? You win 60, you lose 60. Who wins the other 42? That was one you had no business winning. You give the guys credit. Now, was I right that Vientos hits the 2-run home run last night and was not in the lineup today?
That is correct.
I'm sorry.
That is correct.
They
yes.
called him up
Yep.
because he had a hot bat and the offense was stagnant.
Correct, yeah.
And he delivers the goods.
Yes.
A major league home run, 2-run home run.
Yep.
Place goes bonkers.
Yes, that's
7th
correct.
inning, 2-2.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Yep.
And we don't play him again today?
We don't play him. Did you hear
Can
Buck's
you walk me
reasoning?
through why?
Oh, I'm going to give you the reasoning of the brilliant manager. So the brilliant manager said,
I hope you're being facetious.
The brilliant manager?
I assume you're being sarcastic.
You don't think it's brilliant to go to Daniel Vogelbach when everyone in the world knows a lefty's coming in? You don't think that's brilliant? You don't think it's brilliant to sit a guy who just hit a home run the night before after tearing up AAA? But here's Buck's brilliant answers, and they make me sick, quite frankly.
Go.
Number one, he said, well, only one guy could play third base. He's funny, get it? Only one guy. Buck, why can't he DH? Or why can't you play Brett Beatty in left field? He played left field last night in the 10th inning. I have an answer for why he can't play left field. Sunny outside, Craig. Very sunny. Wouldn't be fair to Brett Beatty to stick him out in left field with all that sun in the sky. But the real problem is designated hitter. That's where Vientos should be playing because Daniel Vogelbach is not that good. So, look, I'm happy. I'm excited. The Mets have a little lead now in Game 3 of this series, and it feels like that win last night could kind of turn their season around. But this freaking manager has got to stop relying on veterans like Tommy Pham and Eduardo Escobar and Daniel Vogelbach and let these kids play. And I'll make something clear, very clear. I'm not bitching about Alvarez not playing, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, he's a young kid. It's a day game after night game. He's getting beat up behind the plate. You want to sit him? I won't argue that. I'm not going to bring that up. But for Mark Vientos, a day after hitting a home run, after all he did in AAA is mash, for you to come up with these BS, let me try to be funny and make the media who eats out of the palm of my hands laugh excuses, it's getting old, bro. It's getting old, Buck.
Yep.
So, look.
Listen, I'm not a Met fan anymore, and it's not like I watch every pitch when I go to bed a little bit earlier than I normally did. But I checked. I saw what happened last night. It was awesome.
Yes.
You've got this great momentum. You've got a huge W. Win that you pulled from the coffins of death, and you have a guy that everyone's excited to see, and he delivered the goods last night in the 7th inning. I'm not even worried about lefty, righty, lefty. I'm just asking from a common sense standpoint. You brought the kid up. The kid delivered.
Play him.
He's had a red-hot bat in AAA.
Play him.
He hit the big home run last night.
Play him.
Why wouldn't you have that kid in the lineup tonight?
Because besides...
And I'm not saying, I want to be clear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you put him in the lineup because the fans think he should be in the lineup.
No.
I want to be very clear about that.
No.
You put him in the lineup for the reason you brought him up here.
Yeah.
He's an offensive fire plug.
Well, you put
right?
him in the lineup for two important reasons. Number one, he deserves it. He's earned it. But here's number two. The kid pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays, a kid named Taj Bradley. He's a righty. So naturally you say, well, I just want to put a lot of left-handed bats in. Let me put Daniel Vogel back in. What if I told you, because I'm that sick and that pissed off Vientos wasn't in the lineup, that I did my research and I found out that lefties actually hit about 100 points less against Taj Bradley than righties do? What if I told you that the home run Mark Vientos hit last night came against not just a righty, Craig, but a side-arming righty in Ryan Thompson? What if I told you that in AAA when Vientos was whipping everybody's ass, he was beating righties up as much as he was beating lefties up? So the righty-lefty thing doesn't work. Mark Vientos needs to play. He's earned it for the last month and a half.
Right.
And last night, what happened at Citi Field, and yes, Pete delivered the ultimate blow, but the youth was served. The youth is what sparked the team. The youth is what we have been desperate for as Met fans watching this listless lineup night in and night out. And this manager, who I'm not asking to be fired, I'm not saying he's Tony La Russa and the game's passed him by. I'm just calling out things that make no sense.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing.
I mean, the fact that I noticed it and found it odd should be enough, right?
Yes.
I mean,
if you noticed it.
And I'll tell you why. Because I settled into my little office seat there, little 1 o'clock baseball game. You know, I saw the highlights from last night. I didn't see it live, full admission, but I saw the highlights last night. I was excited to sit there and see the new kid play.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about him. I know Met fans have wanted the kid brought up for a long time. You finally got your wishes, and it was you got your wish out of desperation, obviously. Not because the Mets wanted to bring him up. They clearly didn't want to originally bring him up. They brought him up because the offense stunk, and they needed a spark. And the kid's batting .350, whatever it was, right?
I'm going to tell you a funny story.
And I tell you what, as a guy who was willing to sit there and watch an afternoon baseball game today, I got let down. Because you didn't give me what I selfishly wanted to see.
No, we all want to see it. And, you know, I'm going to bring up a team I don't even root for, but a team you root for. The New York Knicks got off to a very mediocre start this season. And there's something that happened that changed from their mediocre start. And I'll tell you specifically what it was.
What is it?
Tom Thibodeau, who loves his veterans, decided to insert Quentin Grimes into the starting lineup. A young player in the second year in the league, and everything changed. Tom Thibodeau is a very accomplished head coach in the NBA who has won absolutely nothing. Very good head coach. But I want to make this clear. Tom Thibodeau, and you know this, I'm not trying to create an issue here, he's won nothing. Buck Showalter's a very good manager who, coincidentally, has won nothing. But what I'm seeing from Buck over the first month is exactly what I saw from Tom Thibodeau. He's in love with veterans. And sometimes that's okay, and sometimes I understand it. And sometimes you want to give those veterans enough time to figure it out because the back of the baseball card is who they are. Like, I'll give you an example. I'd run Starling Marte out every day. I'm not ready to bench him. I'm not ready to get rid of him. But there are other veterans that you look at and you say, really? You feel like you got to run this guy out every day? And sometimes youth is what can turn a season around. The New York Knicks season turned around when Tom Thibodeau finally gave in and changed his starting lineup. The Mets season last night, for me, I'm one guy, felt like it turned around. Why?
Yeah.
Because Mark Vientos hit a 2-run home run in the seventh.
Right.
Why? Because Francisco Alvarez, who he didn't even want to play when he was first called up, hit a 3-run home run to tie it in the bottom of the 9th inning. Let it happen, bro. Let it happen.
And then let's acknowledge our guy, Pete Alonso, who I'm concerned about hair-wise. Last night watching the game. I'm not really sure what's going on there with Pete's dome, and I'm concerned about it. Obviously, hits the monster shot. Hit another one today. Give the Mets a lead midway through the game. He leads the league in home runs right now. And maybe last night was the spark, but it seems to me when you do something, even if you're reluctant to do it, and it works, you might as well embrace it and run with it.
No doubt.
And that's the one thing I don't quite understand, why they're not embracing it and running with it. And I don't want to hear at some point, which I'm sure we'll hear at some point, well, you want to give the kid a moment. He had a big night last night. No, he's a baseball player.
No.
He plays baseball every day. That's what they do. Put the kid in the field and let him DH him and let him play baseball. Whatever you want to do.
And Buck's
Kid should be in the
excuses are lame as hell.
Yes.
I mean, there's only one guy who can play third base. So, the sun's bad.
Yeah.
Dude, DH the guy. Enough of Daniel Vogelbach. Yeah. Enough of him.
877-337-6666. Very exciting. I talked to the Pulse of the People committee earlier today, and I've gotten some insight, Evan, into some of the potential nominees that are going to be introduced, or I guess announced, next Friday when we do our live show from DJs in Belmar. And there are some surprise nominees, if the information I got is accurate, that's going to really upset the apple cart.
I want to make something clear. I think I speak for everybody when I say this. You being nominated for the 17th straight year does not qualify.
There's a couple years
surprise.
I wasn't nominated. I was not nominated in 2019. I was not nominated in 2018.
That year doesn't count.
I did go back-to-back years without being nominated, and I'm not quite sure I was even nominated in 2020.
But they canceled it in 2020.
Oh, it wasn't canceled because of COVID?
Yeah.
All right, so nobody got nominated.
2020 was the year that didn't happen. It's like the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Never happened.
I also have this weird situation happening right now where I have a strange human being obsessed with the size of my penis.
Who isn't, Craig?
Who is frankly like bordering on stalking me?
You being stalked?
I'm being cyber stalked with somebody who has an infatuation with the size of my penis. And it's a little disconcerting, frankly. But I'm dealing with it, and I'm getting through. But it's of the 30 years of doing this, I've had some crazy fans or crazy listeners that have crossed the line that you shouldn't cross. It's happened.
Right.
Knock on wood, I've been safe through all those occurrences. But this one's a strange one, Evan. I have a grown man who only wants to tweet me about the size of my junk.
Are you revealing the size? Or are you keeping that secret?
I mean, I'm good to go down there. I'm good to go. I'm not embarrassed by what I have. It's solid. It does the job, right? I got 4 beautiful kids. I'm good. I'm good. It works.
We know it works.
But it's really, I got to tell you, it's one of the strangest things I've ever experienced.
Yeah, that is kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Now this lunatic wants to meet me. It's weird.
Does he want to see it too?
Yeah, I think so. He wants to come into the studio tomorrow to see my junk.
What's he gonna do?
It's a really strange thing. Otherwise, I'd let him in.
Yeah.
But I don't want to let a guy in or a woman for that matter. I'm not being sexist at all.
No.
When you're openly interested in the size of my manhood, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Welcome you in? Without, checking you for weapons or steroids?
Well, what do you think the ultimate plan is?
I don't know.
When he sees it.
I think it would excite him.
Take a picture?
Maybe take a picture, take it home, show the kids. I have no idea. It's very, very strange, Evan. So I'm working with that right now, and I don't know. That's a new one on me. I've said I've done this a long time. This is a new one on me.
I've never heard of that one before.
All right, we'll get all your calls. 877-337-6666. Hey, Rob's in Ronkonkoma. Rob, what's on your mind, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Doing great.
Well, I just want to go on record. I've not been a fan of Buck since about the second month of last year, and I've been roasting him on Twitter, and I've been getting blasted since last June.
Well, I don't know, but before you say anything else, I don't know. I'm trying to be fair about this. I don't know what you could have blasted him about a year ago, but if you were,
I go
God bless
deeper
you.
into the game because you're looking at the wins and losses.
No, I'm not. I watch every pitch. I get mad. For example, last night the Mets won a game, and I was infuriated by his decision to go to Vogelbach when it was obvious Kevin Cash had a lefty in the bullpen. So I'm not like one of those fans who says, hey, they won, nothing matters. But even last year, it wasn't about wins and losses. I don't think he did anything that was that bad last year. I'm being honest with you.
I feel like they won in spite of him on so many decisions.
I don't agree with that.
Whether it be bullpen, whether it be who he started. And he has a history of liking vets. And my opinion of it is, if you look at when he was on the Yankees and when he was on the Diamondbacks, everyone knows once he got fired, they won championships. And the reason is he would continuously make boneheaded decisions of sticking with veterans when he used McDowell closing the game against the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, but Rob. What he did in 1995 or even what he did in 2013 means nothing. Like, because here's what Buck's changed. I want to give him credit for this. He refused to go to his best reliever in a game with his season on the line with Zach Britton. He's obviously learned from that because last year and even this year, he will routinely use his best reliever in the 8th inning or the 9th inning or before a game has been decided like he did with Edwin Diaz a lot last year. So I just disagree with you about last year.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like he favors the veterans because it empowers them to just take care of the clubhouse where he doesn't have to deal with it.
Okay. So the veteran part. And let's focus on now because, again, 1995 doesn't mean anything. You're right. Now, the question is...
his history.
Okay, right now, the why is very important to me. Why does Tommy Pham need to be in the lineup essentially every single day? Why does he have a loyalty to Daniel Vogelbach, who has one positive trait, which is a good eye and draws a lot of walks? I don't get the why. You think it's because he doesn't want to deal with the locker room?
No, well, did you ever think that maybe him and Epler, it's been known that they have a very good relationship. Do you think it's possible that connection is he gets pressure from Epler because he just signed these guys?
No.
He looks stupid.
No.
He looks stupid.
I'll tell you where I disagree with you, and this goes for Yankee fans too. This has driven me nuts, and it's repeated over and over again by a lot of people, that Aaron Boone and even Buck Showalter are puppets, that the GMs make the lineup. It's a bunch of crap. It's not true. And it's kind of become like this lazy narrative to just throw out there. They're given a lot more information than they were given 10 years ago, no doubt, but then they make the decisions. So I believe Buck Showalter this morning made a lineup out. And yes, he's very loyal to veterans. But the veterans he's loyal to right now, specifically Daniel Vogelbach and Tommy Pham, I'm not even going to kill Escobar. Because you know what? Here's why I'm not killing Escobar, Craig. Escobar's gotten hot. Escobar deserves a little bit of a chance to play again. I don't have an issue with that.
Right.
My issue is Daniel Vogelbach, who does one thing well, and that's draw walks. He's supposed to be a power hitter. He's at 2 home runs this season. Why does he feel the need to play Daniel Vogelbach against every right-handed pitcher? Why did he feel the need to make this weird defense of Tommy Pham before last night's game? It was so bizarre, I thought it was fake. I thought it was a fake quote, and we were going to fall for it. But it was actually real. Oh, Tommy, he does this, he does that. Tommy's this.
Because he still thinks he can get over on the guys and gals that cover them on a daily basis, and no one's going to start questioning some of the decisions
well, we're all questioning
he's making. Of course you are. You know why?
Why?
Because right or wrong, this team came into this specific year with the highest expectations they have had in a very, very long time. Playoff team last year with a tough ending to the season down the stretch, but okay, we got Verlander, right? We're spending a lot of money. The owner's doing his job. We came in with the thought process, win, 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 win. We're going to be amongst the elite teams this season. And obviously, 40-some-odd games in, it has not panned out. And there does come a point where Met fans are very smart. You guys love your team. You understand baseball. And what was kind of hokey and cool early on isn't anymore.
Well, it's not cool because the things don't make sense. Like, I disagree with our last caller. I never felt like Buck had a bad year managing because sometimes you can win games and make dumb decisions. I'll give you a great example. The Mets right now are winning 2-1.
Okay.
If they win this game today, that doesn't mean, oh, boy, we were all wrong. We're idiots.
No, it doesn't.
No, you can win sometimes despite making decisions that aren't sound. Daniel Vogelbach, being used as a pinch hitter last night, was managing 101. He got caught into a trap by Kevin Cash. Kevin Cash was probably laughing in the dugout. He was joking around like, you believe this guy? He didn't see this coming? Kevin Cash set a trap for Buck Showalter, and he fell for it. Now, the Mets overcame it. They won anyway. That doesn't excuse the bad decisions. So what I'm seeing are bad decisions. So the why is the big thing. Why is he so loyal to veterans? Why? My theory is the same as Tom Thibodeau. I think he just trusts them. I think he looks at Tommy Pham and says, I trust him. I think he looked at Tomas Nido and said, I trust him. And I think at the end of the day, yes, he does want to win. In his mind, and this is where we all disagree, he thinks that Tommy Pham and Daniel Vogelbach give the Mets a better chance to win than a guy who just got called up and hit a home run because he doesn't trust the guy who just got called up and hit a home run. So I don't think he's sabotaging the Mets. I don't think it's because he doesn't want to lead the locker room. I think he genuinely thinks, Craig, as long as it is, hey, I feel safer with these guys. These guys have resumes. I think it's the same thing with Thibodeau. Right. And that's why I see a weird comparison. And the best thing Tom Thibodeau did this year was adjust. I give him credit. He adjusted.
I agree.
He made a change. And don't we all agree that the thing that turned the Knicks season around was that change and that adjustment? Time for Buck to adjust.